Good evening. Welcome to Fluttering in the Spirit Tarot. Today is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. This is a reading for the sign of Aries. Please take what fits here and leave the rest. Spirit, please help with this message today. So the first card that we have in the reading today is from the Mystical Dream deck. And we have the fish. Swimming in water symbolizes the deep recesses of the subconscious. In your dream, the fish invites you to explore your deep emotions and wisdom. It's about diving deep to uncover hidden truths, not chasing surface level things. The fish reminds you that true answers lie in the parts of you that are harder to reach, encouraging you to connect intimately with your emotions. So this first card we have here, instantly when I saw it come out the deck, I thought Pisces energy. Probably because of the symbolism of the fish, but also this is about deep emotions. Now this reading is for the sign of Aries. So that is fire energy. So I did go ahead and pull a couple cards next, and I pulled them from the Love Oracle deck. And the first card we have is mistakes. And mistakes came out in reverse. So in an upright, this card speaks of someone who may be seen as misunderstood or a victim in a situation, potentially a lost soul. So someone who is known by their mistakes potentially. And then the next card that came out is the healing card. And the healing card came out in reverse. When in a upright position, this would refer to releasing, purifying, or cleansing of oneself. So the opposite of this would be holding on to those things that you need to release. And rather than purifying or cleansing your spirit and yourself, you're kind of staying stuck in the same dirty energy. And then the next card, I went ahead and pulled some tarot cards to give us some clarity. And the first card that came out is the Five of Pentacles. And that came out in reverse. And then we have the Empress. This is Taurus or Libra energy. And then we have the two of them actually came out. We have the Hierophant, which is Taurus again, and we have the Three of Wands. Okay. And then on the back of the deck, I'm gonna put it over here for now. We have the Three of Swords. So we will go ahead and start here with the Five of Wands. Or Pentacles, sorry. Five of Pentacles. So in an upright position, this would refer to being out in the cold, or definitely a time of loss. You may not have stable financial security in your life at this time. That may be an area where you are struggling. But when this is in a reversal, it speaks of recovery from that hardship, moving on from challenges, relief from the struggle. And then next we have the Empress. So you're coming out of the struggle, moving from these challenges into an energy of nurturing, definitely a balance and harmony in your relationships. There may have been some strain potentially in relationships, because we see the Three of Swords, which is heartache, pain. So definitely been going through some pretty painful times. Sorrow, grief, just a lot of hurt. And feeling kind of just out in the cold and alone. The Empress is also very, very creative. So the next card that came out is the Hierophant. And that may speak of, there may be potentially someone in your life, or this could just be a higher connection with spirit, that you're being led more in the spiritual realm at this time due to your connection at this time. You have a vision for the future. But there may be somebody in your life who is helping you transition into this next phase, because you're going from loss, a lot of painful memories, thoughts, into a more positive energy of seeking wise counsel. Building upon the things that you know are true and are stable in your life. And as you moved into this Empress energy, you're only gonna want things that build you up around you. And when you were in this state of being in the Five of Pentacles and in just a complete state of loss with all this pain, you were in a different energy. And then I went ahead and clarified each one of these cards. And the first one I got here was this is the Six of Swords, and it's in reverse. So the Six of Swords, when in reverse, can refer to a feeling of being stuck or just bogged down by emotional baggage that you have accumulated. Difficulty moving forward, kind of just staying in the same place, feeling completely stuck in this heartache and pain and poverty, whether that's financial, it could be emotional as well. And I notice there's no Cups cards in this reading, And this is what this is speaking of. There's a lot of, we've got swords and we've got everything but cups at this time in the tarot cards that came out. And the advice is definitely to connect with yourself on a deep emotional level, because you've got to identify why you ended up in this kind of state in your life, to be able to uncover truths that you probably kept hidden from yourself. And then I did pull advice cards too, and I'm going to read them with each set. So for the advice for this column here, or this row, the advice is stop and reflect, which is kind of what it's telling you here, is to take some time in your emotions and pause, because you've been ignoring those, or you've maybe numbed them in the situation because of all this heartache and pain, potentially. When you're in a bad situation, you definitely can begin to numb yourself just to try to get through it, and sometimes just to try to figure out what your next step is. But it's telling you to definitely dig deep. So the advice card says stop and reflect. Pause in your journey to appreciate how far you've come. So you were in this state of, prior to recovery, you were in this state of loss, heartache, deep heartache, feeling stuck. This may have made you numb in your emotions. But you're going to have to start to dive into them and deal with some of the hidden truths that maybe you pushed down, that you didn't want to confront at that time, potentially. Pause in the journey and appreciate how far you've come and where you're headed. Stop and reflect. And then the next cards that came out to clarify, so for the Empress and the mistakes in reverse, we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands came out sideways. So that means you're teetering between feeling discouraged and feeling inspired. So you might find yourself in this transition period where you're teetering back and forth, trying to get into this positive energy where you're in harmony with yourself and those around you. But you're definitely stepping away from the energy of holding on to feeling like you're misunderstood in the situation you were in here, or a victim, and taking on a victim mentality, because sometimes we can do that. Or just feeling like you're a complete lost soul, because how did you end up getting yourself into this kind of position? And then the advice is ocean of possibilities. Navigate through the boundless ocean of possibilities where horizons whisper of untold opportunities and plentiful paths. So as you work on getting your energy into an inspired position where you're taking action towards those things you're wanting to nurture, as you begin to do that, you're going to stop feeling like you're just a reflection of your mistakes and a victim in this prior situation over here. Because there's an ocean of possibilities in front of you. And then we have for the Hierophant and the Three of Wands, so that speaks of seeking wise counsel with a vision for the future. There may have been a block in healing, so holding on to some of the things that maybe some of the thought patterns and actions that you took back here, not releasing them. And to clarify, I got the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords came out in a sideways position as well. And the Nine of Swords speaks of when it's teetering, it's between a never-ending nightmare, basically, that keeps you up at night. This person's sitting up in their bed, worried, anxious. But they're beginning to find a calmness and having control over it and becoming more at peace and getting rest again. And then for the advice for this one, we have wise counsel. So that's just confirming the Hierophant, which can be a mentor, someone that you can confide in and get advice from. So seek guidance from trusted friends or mentors to help you along. So stop and reflect. Take some time to deal with some of these emotions that you've likely numbed or just haven't fully dived into when you were in this position down here of loss. And feeling stuck in it. Realize there's an ocean of possibilities and seek wise counsel. So that is the reading today, Aries. Thank you, and please do subscribe, follow, and like this video.